Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is the show where we take these, huge stacks of complex documentation and we give you the absolute shortcut to true mastery. And today we are diving deep into the engine room of the internet. WordPress speed optimization. Our ambition is pretty clear. We want you to forget all those endless, confusing guides. We're mastering the art of superior site performance. We're talking elevating search rankings, engaging visitors, and ultimately driving conversions.
And that's the key word, right? Driving conversions. This isn't just a technical thing anymore. Speed is a fundamental, a non-negotiable ranking factor. If your site is slow, Google adjust. It won't show you. So today, we're distilling that complete optimization roadmap. We're walking you through the why, the business impact, then the how Google actually sees your site, and finally the what, the specific tools and tricks you need to get into that top tier.
Exactly. We're going straight for the actionable insights. So let's start with segment 1. Why speed doesn't just matter, it really defines success. And this isn't about making developers happy. This is about cold, hard business metrics.
Precisely. Google's implementation of Core Web Vitals, it completely reframed how search engines evaluate every single website. They are actively prioritizing and rewarding fast-loading sites, better visibility, better placement. And that translates directly to traffic and revenue.
And if there's one statistic you need to internalize today, it's this: the 32% rule. Our research found that slow sites see this just disastrous increase in bounce rates. We're talking up to 32% abandonment.
And that's when load time just stretches from a snappy 1 second to a sluggish 3 seconds.
Just 2 seconds.
Just 2 seconds. It's enough to lose nearly a third of your audience before they even see your content. It's that compounding frustration factor.
Right. Every extra second is a chance for them to just leave.
Exactly. But the flip side of that is this massive opportunity. Sites that are fast don't just stop people from leaving. They actually improve engagement and critically improve conversion rates by up to 27%. So you get this double benefit. You keep the visitors you have, and they're more likely to actually buy something or sign up.
That's the essential insight here. Speed isn't a cost center. It's a revenue generator. So think about this for a second. If you were to look at your own analytics right now, which metric do you think is suffering the most from load time? Is it that 32% bounce rate that's just killing your traffic? Or is it the potential 27% in conversions that you're just leaving on the table? That's how you have to frame it.
And to optimize that, you first have to think like the algorithm. We need to detail exactly how search engines see your site's speed. It's not just one score. It's a systematic 4-step assessment that basically determines your fate in the search results.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The algorithm's viewpoint. What is the very first measurement they take?
Step 1 is what we call crawler assessment. So web crawlers come in and they measure the purely technical baseline, raw page load times, how fast your server responds, that kind of thing, the technical groundwork.
And step 2 is where the user enters the picture, which I'm guessing this is where Core Web Vitals come in?
Exactly. Step 2 is all about analyzing user experience signals. And this is so critical because it focuses on what the human user actually experiences. We look at largest contentful paint, or LCP.
So when the main content actually shows up.
Right. Then there's first input delay, FID, which is how quickly the page responds when you try to click something. And finally, cumulative layout shift, CLS, which measures visual stability.
So stopping those annoying ads from jumping around while I'm trying to click a button.
That's the one. And if you fail on those metrics, what happens next? Well, that brings us to step 3, the ranking adjustment. Sites with poor Core Web Vitals scores, they just get filtered down in the results. It's a direct consequence. You lose traffic, you lose revenue to your competitors who are faster.
And the final step is a reminder that you're never really done.
Never. Step 4 is algorithm evolution. Optimization has to be continuous because Google is always reinforcing user experience. You might hit your target score today, but the next algorithm update will just leave you behind if you stop.
Okay, so now we get the metrics Google cares about. We know we have to nail those LCP and CLS scores. Let's transition to the tools that make this possible. We're talking about caching plugins. These are kind of the workhorses that can automatically apply, like 80% of best practices?
At least, yeah. Caching creates that speed foundation. It pre-builds parts of your site so they don't have to be generated from scratch for every single visitor. And if you look at the landscape, there are really 3 premium players that dominate, specifically because they tackle these new Core Web Vitals.
Okay, so the 3 big ones. We've got wprocket, which is known for being super user-friendly and automated. Then there's LiteSpeed Cache, which is all about that revolutionary server-level performance. And finally, FlyingPress, which is sort of the new cutting-edge specialist engineered for core web vitals.
And we should mention, of course, for anyone on a tighter budget, there are established free options. Things like WP Super Cache and W3 Total Cache. They provide a solid foundation for the basics.
Let's dedicate some time to these heavy hitters, though. Let's start with wprocket, the all-in-one speed booster. The focus here seems to be on ease of use, getting that quick win.
Absolutely. The main appeal is just how accessible it is. The source material really emphasizes this. wprocket installs in just 3 minutes. And with zero coding knowledge required, it really democratizes what used to be enterprise-level stuff.
So what does it actually do automatically when you switch it on?
Well, in activation, it just seamlessly combines all the core requirements, page caching, browser caching, gzip compression. But where it really shines is its advanced capabilities for core web vitals, things like intelligent JavaScript execution delay.
Which stops scripts from running until the page is loaded.
Exactly. And also automatic unused CSS removal.
Okay, stop there for a second. Why is removing unused CSS so critical? That sounds really technical.
It's massive. It's all because of what we call render blocking resources. See, when a browser loads a page, it has to read all the CSS before it can paint the page correctly. So if your theme and plugins load thousands of lines of code that aren't even needed for that page, the browser just stops and waits.
Creating a huge delay in that LCP score we talked about.
A huge delay. wprocket just automatically strips that out, so the page becomes visible way faster.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And the trust metric is pretty undeniable. It's used on over 4.9 million websites.
Okay, moving on to our second tool, LiteSpeed Cache. This one's a bit different because it's tied to specialized infrastructure.
Right, so how does being a server-level solution give it a speed advantage over, say, a traditional PHP plugin?
Because it works at the operating system level. It doesn't have to wait for WordPress itself to load, so it's just inherently faster. It's designed specifically for LiteSpeed servers, though it does have compatibility modes for others like Apache. But that deep integration, that's its superpower.
And what else is baked into this system besides just pure speed?
It's a whole optimization suite, really. It has built-in image optimization, intelligent minification of your files, and automatic critical CSS generation. Plus, it fully supports advanced protocols like HTTP2 and the brand new HTTP3.
Which helps browsers load more things at once.
Exactly. It makes busy sites feel incredibly fast, even under heavy load.
And I saw a feature called ESI blocks mentioned in the sources. What exactly are those, and why are they so important for something like e-commerce?
Okay, so ESI stands for Edge Side Includes. Normally, when you cache a page, if one tiny part of it changes, like a logged-in user's shopping cart icon, the whole page cache has to be thrown out. ESI blocks let LiteSpeed cache the whole page except for those small dynamic areas like the cart widget or a welcome back message. It means you get full page speed while still showing personalized content.
That makes its global reach even more powerful then.
It does. It integrates seamlessly with the QUIC.Cloud CDN, which gives you free global content delivery. Your cached content gets served instantly, anywhere in the world.
And now we come to FlyingPress, which it feels like the new vanguard. It's focused entirely on those really tricky core web vital scores.
It definitely is. It leverages some really cutting-edge tech. FlyingPress relies on the Cloudflare Enterprise CDN. Specifically, it uses their proprietary Argo Smart Routing.
What does that do?
It finds the absolute fastest network paths between your users and your server. The end result is an ultra-fast time to first byte, or TTFB, no matter where your user is.
Ultra-fast TTFB is that critical starting point.
Yeah.
So how do they tackle the rendering and stability issues, the LCP and CLS?
They've engineered this pioneering lazy render function for HTML elements. So instead of making the browser process everything at once, it prioritizes what the user sees first. And that, combined with what they claim is an industry-leading unused CSS removal system, just makes the page stable and interactive incredibly quickly.
And this plugin has a specific niche, which is really valuable for people to know.
Absolutely. While it works everywhere, it's been specifically engineered and optimized for highly dynamic sites. We're talking particularly about WooCommerce stores. It lets e-commerce owners keep all their complex features without that typical speed penalty.
So we've seen 3 very different, very specialized plugins. Each one solves a different challenge. So we really want you to think about this. If you had to pick one feature that would immediately solve your current performance bottleneck, would it be the server-level speed of LiteSpeed, the core web vitals focus of FlyingPress, or the simple, effective automation of wprocket? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to see what your implementation plans are.
And moving beyond the tools, we have to address the foundational reality here. Even the best plugin in the world is useless if your infrastructure is poor. So now we need to talk about the non-plugin techniques, the practical tips and tricks that really maximize your speed.
Let's do it. Let's focus on the first three action items. The low-hanging fruit related to how content actually loads for the user.
Okay, number 1, implement smart loading. Always use lazy loading for images and videos that are below the fold. This means the browser only downloads them when the user scrolls down, which drastically cuts the initial page weight.
So it speeds up the perceived load time. Smart. Number 2, optimize assets. You have to minify and combine your CSS and JavaScript files. Every separate file is another request, which adds latency. Combining them reduces the total number of round trips.
And number 3, control script execution. You need to defer or delay any non-critical JavaScript. If a script isn't needed for that above-the-fold content, just push it down the priority list. This lets the browser focus on rendering what's visible first, which gives you a faster LCP score.
Okay, now let's get into the critical backend and infrastructural tips, starting with what's happening beneath the surface.
Number 4, database maintenance. This is so often forgotten, but it's critical. Your database just accumulates bloat over time, old post revisions, spam comments, data from old plugins. This makes every single query slower. You have to optimize it regularly to keep your TTFB low.
Number 5, CDN deployment. Use a content delivery network. If your server's in London, but your user is in Sydney, serving assets from London is just slow. A CDN serves those assets from a server that's geographically close to the visitor. It's a huge speed boost.
And 6, this is a foundational preventative measure. Choose wisely. Avoid those really resource-heavy page builders or poorly coded themes. They often introduce so much unnecessary code that no amount of caching can fully fix it. You have to start with a light foundation.
Those 6 steps are pretty much mandatory for top performance. But for anyone aiming for those, perfect page speed scores, we've got 4 bonus steps. Let's start with how we handle media.
Right. For the next level, you need to rethink your image strategy. Implement support for modern image formats like WebP and AVIF. These can be 30% smaller than JPEGs with the same visual quality. It's a massive saving.
Second bonus tip, font optimization. Those fancy Google fonts, they come at a performance cost.
They do. The best approach is to host them locally on your own server. Or at the very least, combine multiple font requests into a single call. Every external request can hold up the whole page load.
Third, heartbeat control. This is a subtle killer of server resources.
That's the WordPress Heartbeat API. It's constantly sending these little AJX requests in the background for things like auto-saving. If you don't manage it, the frequency can really strain your server, especially on high-traffic sites.
And finally, getting ahead of the loading curve. Preload critical assets.
Exactly. You can use things like DNS prefetching and preload directives. It's basically telling the browser, hey, you're going to need this font or this logo in a split second, so start grabbing it now. It's an advanced trick that really helps perceived load time.
Wow. We have covered a complete strategy, from the business implications of that 32% rule to picking the right tools to the most advanced technical tweaks.
Yeah, and the core message here really needs to be reiterated. Site speed is not optional anymore. It is a critical SEO ranking factor, and it is the fundamental component of providing a great user experience that actually converts. If you ignore this, you're going to be penalized.
So your next step is practical application. You've got to select the right tools for your specific hosting environment and your technical skill level. Whether that's the automation of wprocket, the specialized focus of FlyingPress, or the raw server power of LiteSpeed. Then you combine those tools with the smart optimization strategies we just talked about.
And before we leave you, here's a final provocative thought to chew on. We know that slow sites increase abandonment by 32%. So if a highly technical, seemingly small change like managing database bloat significantly cuts your server response time, what is the single most unexpected business metric beyond just bounce rate or conversions that tiny technical tweak could impact the most?
We're really curious to see what you come up with and to hear about your real-world results. Take this knowledge, apply it, and please share your answers and any further questions in the comments below. We love seeing what you're optimizing. We'll see you on the next deep dive.